Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently incredibly close. Oh, we're on speed 4. There we go. Incredibly close to finishing up our destroyers. We're going to be done with those very, very soon. In fact, we just need to finish up our torpedo launchers to be done with them. So that is fantastic. Checking in on the state of the world here, it's not great. It's definitely not great. Central powers are a bit scary. There's no doubt about that. We'll see what we can do. I'm hoping the United States does something useful at some point. They're still fighting over here, but they're not really getting anywhere at all, and that's slightly problematic. But we want to take over everything up over here in the Pact of Rome area. That's going to be our primary war goal for the moment. And we're going to be finishing up our radar here eventually. But mostly we still have research to do. Decimetric radar will be done in 17 days, and improved ship torpedo launchers in 27. We're going to be finishing up our level 2 carrier hull here in 77 days. So that will all get finished up eventually. Eventually. But not quite yet. How are we doing on our tank stockpiling, anyway? All this seems to be going again. I just noticed that. Maybe we're not getting manpower, but it's for some reason filling up all of these. Okay, so that one just deployed. We don't have any manpower here. So yeah, these guys are here. You know, I think we're not getting manpower, but it's filling up all of these to full when I restart the game. Now that's very strange. I don't think that's supposed to be happening. Well, how would we go about... I was going to say we could, like, deduct manpower with the console. But if we're not actually getting it here, we'd have to, like, restart these every time. But if we did that, then the manpower would go into our pool, and then we'd have to, like, manually calculate how much manpower we're gaining. I don't know. It's a little weird. We'll keep an eye on that for now. So these 279 troops didn't immediately vanish this time. They're gone now. Yeah, that's definitely very weird. Okay. So this one is, of course, just lacking its manpower here. Nothing else. Yeah. Literally just as manpower is being lacked here. That's strange. We'll keep an eye on that. I don't think that's the way that this is intended to be happening, but sure. We're going to continue our way down the decimetric radar for now. And honestly, our manpower is so grim that maybe it's for the best, and maybe we just shouldn't question it too much. I don't know. I feel like I should question it, but we'll see. For the time being, of course, our ship torpedo launcher will finish up in 8 days, and then once that's done, we're going to be able to get our destroyers underway. So that's fantastic. This track here, once we finish up with our radar, which will be a ways out, once we finish up with our radar, we are going to put that to work on grabbing various other hulls and upgrades. So that'll all be just fine. We have not yet grabbed smoke generators. That is something that we will want. But I want to get all of these ships in production as quickly as possible. I say quickly, it's 1948, almost 1949. We've not been in any rush, that's for sure. The ship torpedo launcher is going to finish up, and we're going to grab the level 3 torpedo launcher. That's going to be 102 days out. So we've got a ways here until we finish up these researches. Okay. Well, that's certainly interesting. Well, not particularly, actually. It's not all that interesting. We've got a while to wait, is the answer. So, looking at this, Burma still exists. And it's still at war with the British Empire, isn't it? Yes, it is. Siam is not at war with anyone. Their available manpower isn't fantastic. Their deployed manpower is similar to ours. Okay. Just checking in on that one. Unfortunately, still no region-wide industrial integration available. That makes me very sad, but it is what it is. Let's check in on our logistics here. Everything here is okay. We definitely need more modern tanks. And eventually we might switch over to cheaper modern tanks. But for now, it seems to be reasonably okay. Getting this tech done is still our biggest goal. It is now 1949. And the Japanese shogunate is just kind of chilling over here. They're not really doing too much. The Central Powers are focusing on India, but they're also not really pushing in too hard. So that's very interesting. The North American Association is mostly chilling as well. Like, we appear to be in a quasi-stable world state. The world state hasn't changed very much in a while. So that's certainly interesting to note. That means that we should be able to tip the balance fairly easily. Now, our carrier hulls will be done in 33 days. Of course, we're not going to be done with our carrier hulls once we're done with that. We've got another 2 carrier hulls to go here. So that's fine. And we've got some hefty upgrades to get down this way. So that's all definitely going to be a thing. I want to get ourselves some Naval Fighter 3s, which I believe is going to be the Firefly. I'm pretty sure. That's our close air support. That's our naval bomber. So I think what we need is this guy if we want to get some Naval Fighter 3s being developed. That would be our current goal once we at least get our destroyers online. Maybe we start working down towards that with this, actually this research slot. It's a possibility after we get this, the modern ship torpedo launcher. That is a potential option. Working our way down there just to get those online and actually working, that'd be good. Because, like, we have really terrible fighters right now. Don't get me wrong. Like, literally the worst fighters in the game. So that's definitely something that we need to work on. For sure. And this wouldn't be that many researches either. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Cool indeed. So I think that's the overall plan here. We're going to have the carrier hull done in 24 days. And that's just fine. Converting old capital ships and ocean liners to carry aircraft will be the first step towards utilizing these new doctrines. Yeah, sure. Sure. So, Japan is out over here. Invading them is going to be complicated. There's no doubt about that. We already know this. But if we can get them locked in navally, and then just push them back... They have a little bit up here. That's exciting. Push them back over this direction, get them locked into this area. That would be amazing. And then just fight Japan. We might be able to pull that off. It's a definite possibility. So we're going to continue our research here. That'll be done in 16 days. Man, this feels like it's going so slowly. And that's kind of because it is. Only having 3 research slots does tie our hands a bit. It's possible that we maybe should have remained in the Allies just to get the other 2 research slots. I don't know. Maybe. We would be at war with, like, everyone out here if that was the case. So I don't know. Maybe going it alone was the more interesting call, but I think the right call probably would have been to stick with the Allies, at least for now. Or to pick a fight with somebody. Let's see. These are all allies, I believe. Fiji, who are you? Yeah, you're a collaboration government of the British Empire. That's what I thought. Everything out over in the South Pacific over here, that's pretty much either Japan or Britain. There's no real way around that one. Well, there our autosave finishes up. And we have finished up all of our radar. We have not built all of our anti-air, actually. Let's go ahead and get started on building our anti-air. There we go. Harden our home territory a little bit more there. And that'll be great. We can also work on maxing out our air bases in all of our states. Realistically, the anti-air is probably the higher priority here. Yeah, I think that we would finish up the anti-air first. So get something kind of like that done. Cool. There's the 1936 carrier hull done. And we are then going to go for... Honestly, I think at this point, we're just going to start making our way down the plains. I'd love to get naval fighter 3s, at least being produced. That would be awfully handy. Like, right now, if we look at our production, we're producing interwar carrier fighters. Sure, we're producing a decent number of them. We have almost 1,500, but they're awful. They're absolutely awful, and we know that. We've known that the entire time. Cool. 27 days on the decimetric radar. That's fine. If we look back at our construction here, I mean, we don't have any building slots for any of these structures. Our infrastructure is maxed. Our anti-air is maxed. Our radar is maxed. Our air bases are queued up. We could build more supply hubs down over this way. Something like that. And it looks like this did automatically connect in, so that's great to know. Cool. So that'll be fine. How are we doing on our divisions here? Okay, so we can definitely see that here, our manpower is at 835. And because this always flows from top to bottom, that means that if we weren't seeing these fill up, we would actually never get any armored divisions. Because the amount of training is always basically functionally equivalent to the amount of manpower that we have. Which should mean that we move our armored divisions up like this. However, because these are filling up, mysteriously, that's not really that relevant. So I don't really know what to say about that. Let's look at our logistics here real quick. No current requests for equipment. So that means that all of these are fully manpowered. And we know that, actually, because our manpower is going into these guys. So all of the manpower on this next month tick will all go into the 7th Armored Division. And the 5th Armored Division will then be sent out. Sure. Okay. Well, it's strange, for sure. This will go away on the next day tick. And all of that will move into the 7th Armored Division here. All 280. It will not split. See? All 280 go here. Unless... Was this at 835 before? I believe it was. I was going to say maybe we're getting 280 to all of these, but I don't believe that's the case. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on there, but whatever. I'm not going to question it too much, because manpower is always going to be a big problem for us. Always has been, always will be for Australia. Okay, so we've got 4 days on our improved decimetric radar. 3 days. Everything's looking up over in the war. Fairly the same. Everything is very static. Interesting. The decimetric radar finishes up now. Okay, those last couple hours took longer than I expected, but it finished up there, and now we're going to grab centimetric radar. I saw some fuel issues in our Australian, or supply issues of some sort, in our Australian theater there. It looks like it was transitory, but that's okay for the moment. We'll keep an eye on that, see if that comes back. We're of course going to need our advanced ship torpedo launcher in 17 days here. The real question is the Central Powers out of control? I think they're getting pushed back in Africa. Or maybe they're pushing the Allies. There's some small movements happening here and there. Okay. They don't seem to be hugely out of control, but it's close. I think that's pretty clear. The advanced ship torpedo launcher will be done in 12 days. And then we'll get that last ship torpedo launcher. And then we'll finally be able to get our destroyers online. At long last. We're also working our way through planes here. We're not going to go too far in planes. We just need a small amount of research there for the moment. We are going to need some naval bombers eventually as well. So moving our way down this way is not a terrible idea. So Barracudas are naval bombers. And this is modified for aircraft carriers. Okay. Interesting. I would have assumed that naval bombers were just automatically for carriers, but no, apparently not. Sounds good. So our advanced ship torpedo launchers will be done in just 4 days here. 3, 2. Man, this feels slow. Remember, we're on max speed and have been this whole time. Fantastic. We're mostly just sitting this out, powering ourselves up. So there we go. We're going to grab ourselves a modern ship torpedo launcher. That'll be done in 102 days. And then our destroyers will be able to be queued up. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on in Africa here. We can see that there's combat in these 3 locations. Yeah, the Central Powers are definitely slowly pushing back the Allies. I wish we knew a little bit more what was going on over here. That would be nice. But for now, we're very, very interested in this status quo remaining. What just changed up here? I'm not sure. India is pushing back the Central Powers here, or at least was. There's some line fluctuation going on here. Okay. Burma's pushing back the British over here too. There's a lot of really awkward stuff going on in these wars right now, but I feel like they're mostly reasonably static. And that's really, 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 really good. So we're going to get this boomerang done in 18 days here. That'll be great. The Solomon Islands are working on their anti-air. It'll be a while before all of this air stuff finishes up. So that's okay. We'll get all of that built. No real concerns there. Just making sure we're currently 100% democratic, and indeed we are. So that's all great. 88 days left on the modern ship torpedo launcher. That feels like it's such a long time. I've said that like 4 times, but it really does. Also, the US still hasn't dealt with this situation. That's very strange. I don't know what the point of them not dealing with this situation is, to be honest. It feels like they definitely should be able to push the British out of here. Are they still nuking the Anarcho-Republic of Cuba? No, they're not doing that anymore. Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. We're going to finish up our boomerang in 7 days as of now. And that's cool. And then only 79 days left on that modern ship torpedo launcher. So that's definitely making progress. Cool. Centimetric radar 50 days after that. And looking at our radar here, we've only got 2 more radars here. Cool. We're also eventually going to want our atomic research. We grabbed our atomic research bonus, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Okay. I just wanted to make absolutely sure of that. Cool. Okay, so the boomerang finishes up as of now. There we go. And we're going to grab the CA-17. There we go. Get ourselves some fighters going there. 136 days on that one, so that'll be a while yet. The centimetric radar will be done in 43 days. That is our next upgrade. The cipher for the Japanese shogunate was fully decrypted. Cool. So we could reveal the intel. But we're not going to. Not for the moment. I want to take a look at what we've got here. So we know that they have like 200 to 300 divisions, we'll call it, with 2 to 3 million deployed army manpower. That's definitely way more army manpower than we have. We don't really know what their tech is like. But they're definitely behind us. Their tech is definitely worse. So that's fine. We will be finishing up centimetric radar here soon. About another 33 days, I suppose. So what exactly is going on in Africa? That's a good question. Okay, Central Power's pushed in here. The war has really bogged down. There's no doubt about that. We've got a perpetual conflict here. We've got what feels like a perpetual conflict here, and here, and here. And basically this entire area is one perpetual conflict, and the borders don't seem to be moving that much. They're moving here and there, but not very much at all. So that's fascinating. What do we have for intel on Indonesia? Interesting. That's very interesting. Indonesia has quite a lot of manpower in comparison to us. And they have 1 million deployed manpower. Their tanks are definitely not as good as ours. Their artillery and infantry are pretty decent. Their navy is really bad. Has barely been started. For air, they're down to fighter 3s. Okay. So that's Indonesia's tech. It's kind of a mixed bag. They're broadly similar to us, but we're ahead in some aspects, they're ahead in others. Sounds good. We've got 40 days left on the modern ship torpedo launcher. It is about time to put a cut in here, but I promised that it would be by the end of this episode that we'd have our destroyers left to go. So we're going to keep going for a little while here, and we're going to get those modern ship torpedo launchers done. That's for sure. So we're 10 days on our centimetric radar. We'll finish that up, and then continue to work on our radar. Is this the penultimate upgrade? No, the next one is the penultimate upgrade. Okay. Sounds good. So we'll get that finished up here. 7 more days. No problem. I think India just lost some territory there. But broadly, all of these borders are reasonably static. So that's certainly interesting. 3 days left on the centimetric radar. Make that 2. Man, this feels slow. There we go. 1 day left. Okay. Let's get our radar online. Cool. 2 more radar upgrades to go. 27 days until our destroyers are good to go. And this situation up here, this has been broadly the same for a really long time too. Like, battles are raging, but not much land is changing hands right now. India is trying to push out over this way. They've lost some territory, but they're going to now try to regain it. Pakistan is part of the Central Powers. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Our upgrades here are actually getting pretty close to finishing up, our anti-air upgrades. They've got a ways to go yet, but that's fine. We've got a ways to go on our research yet, too. So that's completely okay. We've got 20 days now on our modern ship torpedo launchers. So we just need to wait. Good old patience simulator. Gotta love it. Indonesia's thinking about assuming leadership of the faction, but it's probably not going to happen. We do have a lot of airplanes in reserves because we don't have any air wings. We can grab a land doctrine, and we definitely should finish out our land doctrines. There we go. As far as our naval doctrines go, we've got a number of these left to grab, and we need to make a bunch of ship types. So we're going to hold off on that for the next little while. 16 days on modern ship torpedo launcher. Let's go. 15 days. I mean, there's a lot of combat going on that's being simulated, which is why this is moving so slowly. There's a lot of manpower being expended right now. And while we may be at 0 manpower, we're actually banking our manpower. We don't have a lot of manpower, though. That's for sure. Oh, that's interesting. These infantry got 558 manpower. It's putting it into the infantry division still. I think. 561 and 835. Yeah, these haven't moved. Huh. Well, that's very strange. Well, it looks like India might be in collapse here. There's been a lot of movements on this front. We'll see if they can rally. But overall, they got pushed back pretty far there. That was pretty grim for India. But our ship torpedo launcher is in 2 days. So let's finish that up real quick here. 1 more day, and it will be done now. Cool. So from here, we're going to grab our smoke generators. But we can definitely switch this out from being an early cruiser hull into being a 1944 destroyer hull variant. We definitely want to do some anti-submarine warfare. We'll put our depth charges in there. We want some minesweeping gear. I'm going to put in another pair of depth charges. And then we'll put in maybe just some dual-purpose main batteries to be able to have some ship-to-ship and anti-air there. But we're primarily trying to be anti-submarine. For a battery, we'll do... Actually, since we have a battery and an anti-air slot here, I'm going to have this be back to depth charges. And then we'll just have the single set of minesweeping gear. Cool. Okay. For our anti-air, we'll have anti-air 2. For our FCS, we are going to run sonar. There we go. Or no, we wanted to have FCS here. That's right. FCS 3 because we have sonar here. And then for torpedoes, we'll run torpedo launcher 4 and light engine 4. So this is our destroyer hull. Beautiful. We'll save that, and we will start producing this. Yes, we will go ahead and lose that production. That's fine. Cool. So with that done, it is now definitely past time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we will start to get, hopefully, our carriers online. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Ken2In, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Raw Potato, Elmichi Nazi, Justin Everett, Emiliano Cambron, Martin Lawrence, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.